When the day ends, many people close their eyes and fall asleep without awareness. But the ancient traditions remind us the last actions of the day decide the first moments of tomorrow. Washing your feet before bed may appear to be a small act, but in truth it is a profound ritual. The feet carry the weight of the day, the dust of the earth, and also the unseen energies that cling to you. When you wash them, you are not only cleansing the body, you are purifying the energy field around you. Why do the old masters emphasize such a practice? Because witchcraft, dark intentions and negative influences do not always appear in grand dramatic forms. They enter through the smallest cracks, through the residue you carry, through the unguarded state of your sleep. The moment you cleanse your feet with intention, you wash away fatigue, you wash away stagnation, and you symbolically wash away hidden witchcraft. You are telling your spirit, I go to sleep free. I go to sleep protected. I go to sleep in balance. The secret is not the water itself, it is the awareness. To do something consciously, even something simple, transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. And when you repeat this daily, the overnight power of unseen negativity loses its grip, and you wake not only refreshed, but aligned with your higher nature. So tonight, before you enter the realm of dreams, take the time, wash your feet, breathe deeply, and recognize in the smallest acts, the greatest protection is hidden. In the rhythm of life, many people treat the evening as nothing more than a time to collapse into bed, exhausted by the weight of the day. They rush through their final moments, perhaps glancing at a screen, scrolling through distractions, or drifting into unconsciousness without awareness of how these last actions plant the seeds of tomorrow. Yet the ancient wisdom traditions all point to one truth: the way you close the day determines the way you will awaken to the next one. The body, the mind, and the spirit are not separate compartments that you can shut down independently. They are a flowing continuum. Just as a gardener knows that the soil must be prepared the night before to welcome the seeds of dawn, so too must we understand that our nightly rituals shape the terrain of our inner world. To wash your feet before sleep is not merely a hygienic detail, it is a symbolic act of conclusion. The feet, more than any other part of the body, bear the journey of your day. They have carried you through workplaces, marketplaces, streets, and rooms filled with energies both nourishing and toxic. On them rests the dust of the earth, but also the invisible imprints of interactions, thoughts, and emotions. When you take the time to cleanse them, you are consciously signaling to your body and mind that the day is now complete. You are saying, I release what has passed. I prepare for rest, not with chaos, but with clarity. In this way, the simple act becomes a powerful ritual that bridges the day and the night, the waking and the dreaming. Think about how you enter sleep. Sleep is not the absence of activity, it is another form of activity, one that happens beyond the conscious control of the waking mind. It is the realm where impressions of the day are sorted, where the body heals, and where the subconscious communicates with symbols and images. If you enter this realm carrying agitation, negativity, or residue from the outer world, then those seeds will germinate in your dreams, in your nervous system, and in your energy field. You may wake up tired, restless, or burdened without understanding why. But if you approach sleep with intention, creating a ritual that cleanses and resets your being, then you do not simply fall asleep, you ascend into it. You enter as if passing through a sacred gate, ready to be renewed rather than drained. What modern society often overlooks is that rituals are not superstition. Rituals are psychological and spiritual anchors. They tell the subconscious mind where to place its attention, they remind the body how to respond, and they awaken the spirit to its deeper alignment. Washing the feet is one such anchor. It grounds you literally in the present moment. It allows you to feel the coolness of water, to witness the act of cleansing, and to experience the symbolic truth that every day can be concluded with purity. This simple practice prepares the mind for stillness, just as monks sweep the floor of the temple not because it is dirty, but because the act itself is meditation. To wash your feet before bed is to sweep the temple of your body and soul, making it ready for the silence of the night. The feet are the most humble yet the most faithful companions of your existence. Every step you take, every road you cross, every environment you enter, the feet are the first to touch and the last to release. They bear the entire weight of the body, silently absorbing the impact of your journey without complaint. But beyond this physical dimension, they also serve as subtle receptors of energy. When you walk into a crowded market, a tense meeting, or a home filled with joy, your body senses more than what your eyes can see. The feet touch the ground where countless others have left their imprint. Just as sand carries the memory of the ocean's waves, the earth carries the memory of human activity, emotions, and intentions. With each step your feet gather not only dust, but also the unseen currents of energy that linger in the places you visit. Imagine for a moment the variety of places your feet encounter in a single day. They cross the thresholds of doors that lead into work, where stress and ambition may dominate. They enter public spaces where the collective energy is often heavy with worry, frustration, or distraction. They stand in homes where arguments, laughter, or prayers have been spoken. Each of these environments leaves behind an energetic fingerprint, and the feet, being the first point of contact with the earth, naturally absorb those impressions. Science tells us that the skin has pores that breathe, and spiritually we know that the body has subtle channels through which energy flows. The feet are like gateways, constantly open to exchange with the external world. Without conscious cleansing, what begins as a small residue of energy can accumulate into heaviness that affects your sleep, your mood, and even your health. The importance of recognizing this goes beyond superstition. Consider how you feel when you walk barefoot on fresh grass or warm sand. Instantly your mind calms, your breath deepens, and you feel a natural connection with the earth. This is not an illusion, it is the result of direct energetic exchange. If nature can soothe and restore you through your feet, then environments filled with negativity can equally burden you through them. In ancient traditions, the act of washing the feet before entering sacred spaces was not about cleanliness alone. It was about ensuring that the energetic dirt of the outer world did not contaminate the sanctity of the temple. Your home, your bed, and your inner being are also temples. When you bring unwashed feet into them, you unconsciously carry the echoes of every place you have walked, every person you have encountered, and every atmosphere you have absorbed. Therefore, to wash the feet at night is to draw a line between what belongs to you and what does not. It is an act of reclaiming your personal energy field from the imprints of the day. Just as you would not wear the same dusty shoes onto a clean floor, you should not carry the energetic residue of the world into the stillness of your sleep. With each rinse of water you symbolically wash away the subtle layers of heaviness, tension, and foreign energy. The body feels lighter, the nervous system receives the signal of release, and the spirit is reminded of its natural state of clarity. This is why, in the deepest sense, the feet are not just physical carriers of the body, they are collectors of invisible energies. And when you cleanse them, you are not simply washing the skin, you are purifying the pathways that connect you to the earth itself. When people hear the word witchcraft, they often imagine rituals under the moonlight, strange symbols or figures cloaked in mystery. But the deeper meaning of witchcraft is far more subtle. It is not always the dramatic or the visible, it is the invisible influence that disturbs the balance of your inner world. Witchcraft, in its hidden form, represents any force, thought, or intention that seeks to entangle you without your consent. It can be the envy of another, the anger directed toward you, or the heavy energy that lingers after conflict. These are not myths, they are psychological and energetic realities. Every human being knows what it is like to walk into a room after an argument and feel the tension as if it were smoke. Every person has felt drained after being around someone who carries deep negativity. This is what hidden witchcraft means, not always spells or charms, but the subtle infiltration of your spirit by energies that do not belong to you. The danger of these influences is not their immediate impact, but their gradual accumulation. Just as dust gathers unnoticed on a surface, negative energies accumulate on the body and mind without being seen. During the day, you are often strong enough to resist them because you are active, alert, and engaged with the world. But when you sleep, your defense is lower. The subconscious opens, and in this openness, what has not been cleansed can deepen its roots. If you go to bed without clearing the body and the energy field, the subtle witchcraft of the day lingers overnight, weaving itself into your dreams, your nervous system, and your spirit. You may wake with heaviness, irritability, or a sense that something is not right, without understanding that the residue of yesterday is still present within you. Thus the ancients taught cleanse before sleep, not only the body, but also the spirit. Washing the feet became a simple but powerful symbol of this release. The act of washing the feet, when done with awareness, is more than water touching skin. It is intention cutting through the invisible cords that try to cling to you. Imagine rinsing away not only dust, but also the unspoken words of those who criticized you, the unkind looks of envy, the frustration you absorbed in busy places, the unseen thoughts directed toward you with ill will. With each drop of water, you declare that these forces have no place in your being. You create a boundary, subtle but strong, between what belongs to you and what the world has tried to impose upon you. This is why traditions across cultures emphasized washing or cleansing rituals at night. They understood that witchcraft, whether external or internal, thrives in the absence of awareness. By making the act conscious, you dissolve its grip. It is not superstition. It is psychological mastery combined with energetic hygiene. When the great teachers spoke about protection, they did not always speak of weapons or walls. They spoke of awareness, discipline, and simple acts performed with presence. Washing your feet before bed is one such act. It is armor made of mindfulness. It is a shield created not from fear but from clarity. For when you acknowledge that hidden witchcraft exists in the subtle layers of life, you no longer deny its reality, but neither do you fear it. You meet it with practice. You meet it with ritual. You meet it with the quiet strength of someone who knows that every influence, no matter how subtle, can be dissolved through conscious action. The water that washes your feet becomes the water that washes away the shadows of the day. In this way, even the smallest ritual defeats the greatest unseen force, not through struggle, but through purity. It is easy to believe that the act of washing feet before sleep is important simply because of the water itself. Water is cleansing, refreshing, and essential for life. But if the act is performed without awareness, then it becomes no different than any other unconscious routine. The essence of this practice does not lie in the physical element, but in the consciousness you bring to it. A person can pour water over their feet 1,000 times, yet if the mind is elsewhere, racing with worry, distracted by screens, or clouded by fatigue, the deeper transformation never occurs. Awareness is what awakens the ritual. It is the spark that converts an ordinary action into a sacred one. When you place your full presence into the act, suddenly the water is no longer only water. It becomes a symbol of release, of renewal, of purification at every level of your being. Consider how a single breath taken unconsciously is just survival. Yet when taken mindfully, that same breath becomes meditation. The body is the same, the air is the same, but awareness changes everything. In the same way, washing the feet is not merely about removing dirt, it is about consciously letting go of the imprints of the day. When your hands touch the water, when you feel its temperature on your skin, when you sense the weight of the day dissolving with each motion, you are engaging in more than hygiene. You are training the mind to enter stillness, you are signaling the body that it is safe, and you are telling the spirit that it is free. Awareness transforms repetition into renewal. It ensures that the practice does not remain mechanical, but becomes a gateway to inner balance. Awareness is also what protects this act from being reduced to superstition. Many people see rituals and dismiss them as meaningless because they do not understand the power of intention. Without awareness, they are right. Rituals are empty shells. But with awareness, rituals become powerful containers of meaning. Washing the feet before bed, when done mindfully, is not a magic trick. It is a discipline of consciousness. It teaches you to pause, to slow down, to pay attention to something small and turn it into something vast. The water itself is neutral, but your awareness fills it with significance. This is the essence of spiritual practice, not to find power in external objects, but to realize that your inner attention is what gives those objects life and meaning. When you approach this act with awareness, it ripples into the rest of your life. The same presence you cultivate in washing your feet begins to appear in the way you breathe, the way you eat, the way you walk. The practice becomes training for the mind, reminding you that nothing is too small to be done consciously. A single glass of water, a single step on the earth, a single act of cleansing, each can be sacred if approached with presence. This is why the great masters have always emphasized awareness above all else. Without it, even the grandest rituals are hollow. With it, even the smallest action carries immense power. Washing your feet before bed is therefore more than cleansing. It is a daily reminder that the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is not in the act itself, but in the awareness you bring to it. Protection is not something that is built in a single moment. Just as the body cannot become strong from one exercise, and the mind cannot become wise from one lesson, the spirit cannot be safeguarded by a single action done once. True protection comes from consistency. It is the quiet strength that arises when you repeat a practice every day until it becomes a part of your nature. Washing your feet before bed is such a practice. At first, it may feel like something small, almost insignificant. But when you do it daily, with intention and awareness, its power compounds. Over time, it becomes not only a cleansing act but a shield, subtle yet unbreakable, because your energy is no longer left exposed to the residue of the world. The repetition itself is the armor. Think of how the body builds immunity. Each time it encounters a challenge, the defense system grows stronger, more alert, more capable of resisting. In the same way, when you practice nightly cleansing, you are training your energy field to remain clear, balanced, and resilient. Each wash tells your subconscious, I release what does not belong to me. I protect what is sacred within me. This repetition plants deep roots of stability that no passing negativity can easily shake. A person who engages in such daily rituals walks through life differently. Their presence feels lighter, calmer, yet unyielding. They do not need to fight against harmful influences, because the consistency of their practice creates a natural barrier that prevents those influences from finding a place to attach. It is also important to see that consistency does not only build protection, it builds trust within yourself. Each night, when you perform the same act of cleansing, you remind yourself that you are not powerless against the forces of life. You demonstrate that you can take responsibility for your inner state, no matter what you encounter during the day. This trust is vital. Without it, you may live in constant fear of hidden negativity, imagining threats everywhere. But with daily practice, you shift from fear to confidence. You realize that the world may carry both light and shadow, but your inner balance does not need to be disturbed by either. Washing your feet becomes a declaration. I choose clarity. I choose renewal. I choose protection through discipline. Over time, this daily ritual becomes something greater than the sum of its parts. It is no longer simply about water touching skin. It becomes a rhythm of your life, a closing ceremony that seals each day with peace. When you look back after weeks, months, or years of this practice, you will see how much has changed. The mind grows calmer, the sleep becomes deeper, the mornings brighter, and the heart steadier. You will notice that negativity no longer lingers around you in the same way because you have trained your energy to reject it naturally. This is the secret power of daily practice. It transforms the fragile into the unshakable, the ordinary into the sacred, the small into the profound. And in this consistency, true protection is born, not through force but through discipline, awareness, and devotion to the purity of your being. So in the end, what do we see? Something so simple as washing the feet before sleep is not just about water, nor about the body. It is about awareness, protection, and preparation for rest. It is about closing the door to the noise of the world and opening the gate to clarity within yourself. Every day, the world leaves its traces on you, visible and invisible. Every night, you are given a chance to let them go. When you choose to take that chance, when you choose to act with awareness, you no longer fall into sleep unconsciously. You enter it as a sacred passage. The dust of the day is removed. The energies of others are released, and the shadows of hidden witchcraft dissolve in the purity of water and intention. What remains is you, unburdened, protected, and ready to meet the silence of the night with peace. So tonight, and every night, remember, the smallest act done with awareness becomes the strongest protection. Wash your feet, breathe deeply, and let the wisdom of simplicity guard your dreams and awaken your spirit.